What up, hodlers? This is BlocKade, aka Cade Crypto, and today it's going to be more of a beginner video. We're going to be talking about the one, the only, the original blockchain, Bitcoin, BTC. And I'm not going to really get into all the intricacies of its history or every detail in the white paper. If you're curious about that, you can go somewhere else. If you want to know how it works, you can also read the t-shirt. Today, we're basically going to be talking about the primary purpose, the original vision for Bitcoin, which was to be a peer-to-peer permissionless currency. So you can exchange value with whoever you want. You can't be controlled. You don't need a bank. You can't be censored. And also, it's supposed to be a currency that's not going to inflate. You want to be able to conserve the value of your money. So obviously, in some ways that hasn't really panned out. We've seen very long confirmation times. We've seen very long, fees for moving stuff around. I paid $30, $50, more than $50 to move Bitcoin around, which doesn't really function like a credit card or a form of payment, which is unless you're buying a very expensive thing like a house, which some people have bought with Bitcoin. But in a free market, there's going to be competition. Of course, we know about the Bitcoin Cash split. There's other competition, Dash, Monero, a slew of others. And yeah, they're still seeing some usage. Bitcoin Cash is popular in Japan. In New Hampshire, they're using Bitcoin Cash. They're using Dash, a few others. It's being used in Europe. It's starting to be used more in Korea. And I guess today, for just explanatory purposes, I'll be using Bitcoin Cash. But you can use whatever your favorite one is. So you can substitute it with Dash, Monero, Rayblock's Classic, and it will still basically function the same way. They're all a little bit different, but they're all trying to be a form of payment. And I'd like to address one criticism of digital currencies, and that they're not stable. And that is true. We've seen them explode in value, and we also seen the correction, and the bear dip, I guess, we're currently in. And that is a fair criticism, but for a long time, these currencies only gained in value. They're actually deflationary. But I think in the future, after all the hype, when we see a steady rate of adoption and usage, I hope to see, and I think that the value of cryptocurrencies will really level out. And some people are putting money into crypto to conserve the value of their money, especially if they're living in a country where inflation has just gone absolutely, completely off the walls. So that is one criticism. But yeah, it's not stable compared to the dollar. But how about compared to the bolivar, which is supposed to hit 1,000,000% in inflation? Of course, you want to put it in crypto, right? I mean, even in the U.S., annual inflation is 2, 3, 4%, and some people saying that's not even accurate. The real numbers are actually higher. So even at those reported rates, long term, 10 plus years, 15 plus years, if you have savings, retirement, you're absolutely getting hammered. And in other places like Africa, it's completely worse. In Iran, we've seen the government trying to crack down. They have all kinds of capital controls. But through crypto, their citizens were able to get $2.5 billion out of the country in, I think it was just the second quarter. So, you can be a hardworking citizen doing everything right, whether you're a doctor, mechanic, you want to save some money, go on vacation, maybe leave some left to your kids. But we've seen time and time and again in, Weimar Republic, Germany, in Zimbabwe, and currently now in Venezuela, that you can do everything right and you're still getting hammered by the system. And cryptocurrency gives you one way to preserve your value, to preserve your wealth. Whether you're rocking dollars or euros, yen, won, it doesn't matter. Crypto is really an escape pod on that fiat spaceship we're all on. Yeah, sure, the government's trying to crack down on crypto, but if people are resourceful, they're going to find a way to get into crypto somehow, right? It's their money and it's not the government's money. And yeah, Bitcoin Cash isn't stable, that's true, but it's pretty damn stable compared to the Bolivar, right, Hodlers? And I mean, the Venezuela thing, it's just absolutely insane. I mean, forget about hodling for that cherry red Lambo. You're not hodling, you're hustling to get like a moldy rat meat sandwich and a side salad of cockroaches and a red wine vinaigrette. In the US we have scalpers for baseball tickets. In Venezuela, they have scalpers for bags of flour. So, although it is a fair criticism, I think having the option of crypto is great, especially for people that aren't in the US. And also, a good thing about crypto is that the places that are accepting crypto more and more are expanding. They're exploding on the internet in countries all over the world. You can go on the internet, you can buy gold bars. We've seen people buy houses with BTC. I think in the future, maybe people will be buying houses with Bitcoin Cash or Dash or Monero. Who knows? And in New Hampshire, they have a street where almost every vendor accepts cryptos. And I think it's fair to be cautious, but we also don't want to hate on something that's really new and that also a lot of people don't understand. So if you're on YouTube and Twitter just bashing crypto, if you're a no coiner on the mainstream media, you know, you can say it now, but in 5, 10, 15 years, you're going to look like an absolute tool. I mean, someone's going to archive it, someone's going to screen cap you, and then you'll look like Paul Krugman saying that the internet wouldn't change the world more than the fax machine. We're talking about those kind of levels of idiocy. But yeah, you also want to be cautious. I wouldn't put everything you have into crypto like Bitcoin Dad, or I wouldn't at the absolute peak of the market, I wouldn't take out a huge bank loan to buy crypto and then, be in a bunch of debt. But I do think crypto is a good investment. And of course, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice, but it is an option you can look at. And yeah, I mean, even in the US where inflation isn't as bad, it's still bad. And, some people are predicting a bubble. In 2008, we kind of had the mini bubble. Some people are predicting like a mega bubble. Like if you go on Zero Hedge, listen to Ron Paul, the dollar vigilante, sorry. Um, they all see a bubble coming, before the end of the decade, and who knows? So not only is it could it be a good investment, it could also be like a good hedge, a good insurance, you know, just in case your country's currency goes for loco, like the bolivar in Venezuela. And if people continue to use it to buy and sell, if it continues its network effects, um, I think I can see a bright future for Bitcoin Cash, and I don't know where you guys stand on the BTC BCH war. You can let me know down below. But maybe it'll be another token, or maybe it'll be another cryptocurrency. Maybe it'll be a privacy token, or one that hasn't even been developed yet. Who knows? But of course, I'm hedging too. I have Bitcoin Cash, and I have Bitcoin, and I have a bunch of others. So I think diversifying is the key. And yeah, and if you would want to diversify, you can diversify into other stuff too. Of course, you guys know I'm all about hodling, but if you want to cash out some profits into fiat or use your crypto to buy other stuff, think about buying some gold coins, buying some precious metals, buy some real estate, buy some guns, or maybe you just want to buy a big boat so you can escape from the horde of socialist zombies that are probably coming on the horizon. and cruise to your own little crypto island sanctuary. So those are really my thoughts on Bitcoin Cash or just digital peer-to-peer currencies in general. So I'm really excited about the future. I see bright things for the future. Of course, it is August of 2018 right now, but I hope in a couple of years, maybe less than a year, we're going to see even more and more adoption, and it's really going to reach that critical mass that we really need for it to reach, for it to be effective. So I guess that's it for Cade Crypto today. But before we go, I want to remind you to Hodl for red Aprilias and Ducatis, and Hodl for those dark red Astons and Maseratis. Peace, guys.